character.
Woke up at 11 o'clock, I ain't got no job, what the hell should I do today? This feel like some I don't give a fuck, oh my god, shut the fuck up, I ain't hearing what you gotta say. What the deal, how you feel?
Hello everybody and welcome back to another What I Eat in a Week, this time Veganuary edition. For those of you who don't know what Veganuary is, I don't know if it's just a UK thing or if there's Veganuary in other places, but it's basically vegan January. It's like the start of a new year, the chance to try something new, so I thought I'd try it out for myself. I think it's really important to try and reduce your meat consumption and dairy consumption, and that's something that I try to do anyway in my life, even though I'm not vegan or fully vegetarian. But definitely check out the book Eating Animals Should We Stop by can't remember who, I'll put it in the description. But anyway, I read it last January and it really changed my perspective on eating meat. And though I'm not vegan, I am going to be eating fully plant-based this week. So as you can see, I'm making my matcha with coconut milk, which I do every day anyway, and which is vegan, or plant-based should I say, because vegan is about the lifestyle, it's about not having leather, not having any animal products, and plant-based is just the diet. So yeah, as you can see, I'm enjoying my morning matcha with coconut milk, which is obviously always my favorite anyway. And I just sipped that as I started my first week of online classes. Who else has online classes? It's pretty tiring, I'm not gonna lie, but it's actually still surprisingly enjoyable for me. Then I just had a piece of toast as my class was beginning because I was sort of hungry, but not like crazy hungry. I felt like I just needed a little bit something in my stomach to start the day. So yeah, had that after my matcha while I did my welcome introductory class, which was great. Then I started preparing my lunch after my first class, and so here I was preparing some kale, tossing it with a bit of rapeseed oil, and of course some garlic salt. Actually, as you'll see, quite a bit of garlic salt, but to be fair, it was a pretty big bowl of kale. And now listen, the key to making kale, if you're going to cook it that is, or if you're going to eat it raw, I don't eat it raw, but it's to massage it. I swear I used to dislike kale so much, but massaging it makes all the difference. It sort of breaks it down a little bit before you cook it or eat it. It makes it way easier to digest and not so like tough and like chewy and fibrous, which I personally really don't like. So yeah, massaging my kale for about 5 minutes just to get it a bit soft, and then putting it on an oven tray. And I think I baked it for about maybe 20 minutes on about 180 degrees. To be honest, I never really count these things. I kind of just have a look at it, and when it looks like it's crisping up nicely, then I'll just take it out of the oven. So with my kale, I'm having some falafels, which I absolutely love. And then I'm also gonna have some rice, well, just leftover rice really. And I added in this random red pepper pesto that I bought, which was actually really good. So that was kind of the lunch combo for today. So I kind of just mixed the pesto into the rice, which looks a bit grim here, not gonna lie, but to be honest, it tasted quite good. And once I'd done that, I just heated up falafel, tossed the kale into the rice, and here we have ourselves a lovely little falafel, rice, kale, red pepper pesto bowl thing. I mean, it's kind of random, but it's really good. And not every meal has to be like crazy pre-prepared following a recipe or whatever. It's just as easy to eat plant-based as it is not plant-based, like this. Then I needed a little something sweet after lunch, so I had these chocolate chickpeas, which I actually love so much. I don't know why they're so good. I think it's the crunch, so I just kind of munched on these before my next class. By the way, if you're wondering why I always sit on the floor, I don't really know, but I'm just like one of those floor people. Does anyone else have that, where they just really enjoy the feeling of sitting on the floor? I don't know. I just like the feeling of being grounded. Does anyone get me? Then mid-afternoon snack, had some of these, I think they're popcorn chips, salted, I don't know, but they're really good. They have a really good like crunch to them, and they're really nicely flavored too. I feel like it's a good mid-afternoon snack. Then for dinner, I basically just had a weird leftover pasta. You're gonna see it looks weird, I know. Red lentil spaghetti, a tofu sausage, some assorted vegetables, courgette, onion, the same pesto, tomato sauce. But, I just really didn't have anything left in my fridge, and I was just improvising, to be honest. Oh yeah, also put some, what is this? Nutritional yeast, because apparently that's a vegan cheese substitute. To be honest, to me it doesn't taste like cheese, but I'm sure if you're vegan and you haven't had cheese in a while, it probably does taste like cheese, to be honest. So as you can see, it looks a bit suspicious, to say the least. Probably because the spaghetti was like red, but it was pretty good. Decent. I wouldn't say it was my best meal, but not my worst either. I'm obsessed with eating cereal at night. I don't know if anyone else loves this too. There's just something so good about breakfast food for dinner. So I finished off the evening with a bowl of chocolate cereal with oat milk, which was so good. Someone tell me why it's so good at night. Also sitting on the floor again, as per. Tuesday morning, my favorite day of the week, because we get a food delivery, and so here I am just doing the whole big unpacking process. We've got 2 big boxes, as you can see, and I ordered all my favorite things. Matcha, lots of vegan foods, like I got some egg mayo, stocking up on soy sauce. And I feel like this morning kind of like unpacking of the food delivery boxes, ooh, tofu scramble, is really therapeutic. Does anyone else get me? Like, I feel like just going through everything, having a look what I got. It's kind of like a present as well. That's one thing I really love about deliveries. So yeah, I made sure to get lots of good vegan or plant-based foods, a tomato soup, tofu, as you can see, all these things so that I'd be prepared for the week ahead and I wouldn't need to go buy something last minute or go out to the shops and buy takeaway or anything like that. Not to say that vegan takeaway is not as good or anything, but to be honest, I really just enjoy cooking at home. I feel like it's a really nice part of my day where I can kind of just chill out, zone out, and just make my food. And as you can see, I got all these lovely vegetables this week, which I was so excited about because they look so good. Then for breakfast, I had a vegan protein shake because I had just done a workout. So I mixed some oat milk, which, by the way, Rude Health brand of any kind of plant-based milk is really good. Their oat milk, I love their coconut milk, everything. And then I used this shreddy protein powder in a salted caramel flavor, which is actually probably one of my favorite proteins I've tried. It's not like too grainy or anything like, I don't know, like that. I feel like you can go quite wrong with protein powders. And yeah, so I just made this delicious thick shake, just those 2 things blended together with ice. That's how I like mine. And then I just chilled out and, spent the morning on my phone, obviously, while I finished that off. Then for lunch this day, I was pretty busy in terms of school or uni, so I got some stuff out the freezer. I got this Strong Roots vegetable fries and some Beyond Burgers. I just chucked those in the oven, so it was easy. I made some sriracha mayo with these, and then I cooked up some mushrooms and caramelized onions just to go on the side to make it a little bit more interesting. And I mean, this takes about 5 minutes to whip up, so it wasn't a big effort. To be honest, I wish I had like a bun for the burger, but we just had like sourdough bread and that wasn't really the move for me. I didn't think it would go. So I just had this, and to be honest, it was pretty good. The vegetable fries, I don't know, I don't love beetroot, but I ate it anyway. Then for my afternoon snack, I had carrots and hummus, which is a really good combo that I forgot about. So I just munched on those while I talked to my friend on the phone in my half-hour break between my classes. I kind of had to wolf this down because I basically had back-to-back Zoom calls all day long. So for dinner, I decided to make a poke bowl. So I coated this sliced tofu in, I think, cornstarch. Yeah, cornstarch and like seasoning. because apparently cornstarch makes it crisp up in the oven. And then I prepared the rest of my ingredients. So I made sushi rice to be the base, and then I marinated some cucumbers in soy sauce and sesame oil, which turned out to be really delicious. And then so cucumbers, tofu, and then I made some, well, I didn't make, I shelled some edamame. I defrosted and shelled some edamame. And then I think I also had carrots as well. And of course I mixed in some of the seaweed salad that I bought and some sesame seeds into the sushi rice to make it, you know, give it a bit of texture, and then plated that all up, tried to make it look really professional. This is actually like a container from one of my favorite sushi places that I'd kept because I hate throwing plastic away, so I just keep it. Plus it's the ideal size for a poke bowl. So yeah, just don't mind me doing this with my hands. I had washed them, it was very sanitary. I'm in my home, so don't hate on me for this. Oh yeah, also forgot to say, I halfway through or 3/4 of the way through the tofu cooking, I took it out, coated it with teriyaki, and then put it back in to give it a bit more flavour and moisture because it was looking a bit dry. So here is my wonderful poke bowl, and it was really delicious. I put a bit more soy sauce on like the beans and the rice to make it a bit more flavourful. But yeah, I think it was a really good, solid dinner. Not too much effort, but definitely very tasty. And then, of course, I had to have my evening cereal again. This is the cereal that I love. The stars are just really crunchy. I don't know what it is. I think maybe because it's made of like corn. Something about it is so good. So yeah. And if you're wondering why I'm eating standing up, it's because I sit down at my desk all day. So I just like to sometimes stand when I eat instead. This morning started as usual with my iced matcha latte, which kind of looks like a green juice here, but definitely wasn't. Then for lunch, I thought I'd make kind of like a Mediterranean, Middle Eastern inspired bowl. So I have this giant couscous, I roasted an aubergine in the oven, chopped up some shallots, however you say that. Got some spices, cumin, paprika and turmeric, and of course garlic salt. And then I just fried up the onions, threw the aubergine and the spices into there, cooked the whole wheat couscous, which I think you cook like this, I don't really know. I followed the instructions. And I came out with this beautiful bowl, added obviously some falafel that I had left over and a nice scoop of hummus, and this was truly very good. I would definitely make this one again. Then for snack, I had a mix of these dark chocolate Smarties and chocolate crunchy shards, which are really good. I would recommend. I'm exhausted. I have not had a single break today. Okay, that's a lie. I had a 1 hour break, but I've had 4 Zoom calls. Help me. I need this. Then for dinner, I decided I was finally going to attempt to make sushi. I've literally been meaning to make sushi or try make sushi since last lockdown, or the first lockdown, so March 2020. So I finally am trying it vegan style, which is actually probably better just because I'm always worried about buying like fresh fish for normal sushi. So anyway, I used that leftover sushi rice I made yesterday that I had filled with like seaweed and sesame seeds, got out my bamboo mat, which for some reason we've had in my house for like 20 years, I don't know why, and yeah, I had some nori sheets, and then for my fillings I decided to go with what I had, so carrot, cucumber and these weird tofu sausages. I'm aware they look very odd, but you know, I didn't have anything else. Also decided to put in some spinach, so followed the instructions, laid it out like this. How cool does that look? And then hopefully, as you'll see, I managed to roll it up pretty successfully, if I do say so myself, and then cut it up into beautiful little circles, sushi rolls, I don't know. Oh my gosh, wow, look at those. those actually turned out so well. Okay, one of them's kind of broken, but apart from that, I feel like these are pretty solid. You know, I feel like I did a pretty good job for my first time trying. The only thing I miscalculated is the size of these. These were humongous. Like, to eat in one bite was a struggle, and you couldn't really bite them in half because they'd like fall apart. So I had to go with the big, like, one bite in my mouth all at once strategy, which was interesting. But yeah, I just ate these. I think I made about 10 with soy sauce, and that was my dinner. Oh my gosh, Thursday morning, so excited. My Nike package came. I wanted these trainers like 6 months ago, but I didn't buy them because I was like, no, I don't know if I'll really like them. Some people might think they're ugly. Maybe they are kind of ugly. I don't care. I got them for 50% off. How great is that? What a deal. What an amazing deal. So clearly it was worth the wait. Good things come to those who wait, guys. For my breakfast today, I decided to go with a breakfast scramble that I bought, which is kind of supposed to be an egg substitute, I guess. I mean, look at that. It looks kind of like a weird yellow sausage. Okay. But anyway, so I basically just followed the instructions, fried it up in a pan, put it on a piece of toast. As you can see, it doesn't really have like an egg texture unless you like your eggs really thoroughly cooked, but I'm personally like kind of runny egg kind of gal. But I mean, it was still pretty good. Definitely didn't taste like eggs, so maybe if you're a vegan it tastes like eggs because you haven't had eggs in ages, but for me it didn't taste like eggs, but it still tasted good because I like tofu anyway, and it was flavored, spiced, so I was pretty happy with that anyways. And of course, no morning is complete without my matcha. For lunch I had this lentil vegan moussaka. Didn't show you it because honestly it just looked like a piece of slop on my plate, but it was delicious and I really recommend if anyone wants. Then I had some more of those delicious little chocolate chickpea snacks, which I absolutely love, and I just kind of ate those as I sat through my afternoon class. I was pretty hungry on this day, so for some reason I decided to have like a soup and toast as a snack. So I had this smoky paprika tomato soup with cumin, I think, that I bought, and I had that with like a piece of toast and hummus on it because obviously I wasn't having butter. Normally I would have butter or maybe even a cheese toasty. But I turned out not liking this. It had way too much cumin for me, wasn't a fan, so I didn't eat it. I just put it back in the fridge for someone else to eat. Had these as a snack again. I love these. If anyone knows if they do other flavors, I haven't found any other, but let me know. Then for dinner, I decided to make a vegan Alfredo sauce. I used a recipe from the Veganuary. I'll leave it in the description. I've made it before and it's really good, but to be honest, for me, it just doesn't taste like Alfredo. I think this is the thing with a lot of vegan products, is that they don't actually taste like what they're supposed to taste like, but it doesn't mean they're bad. I mean, they still taste good. As you can see, I made a pasta with mushrooms and spinach and the Alfredo sauce, and it was delicious, but it just doesn't taste like cheesy and creamy. Obviously, it's made of cashews, but it's delicious. But it's not Alfredo, so I feel like we need to stop this fake naming. And then I finished the day with a very large bowl of cereal because I had a presentation the next day and I needed to chill out. So a bowl of cereal was exactly what I needed. Friday morning, and I had one of these Minor Figures chai lattes. I absolutely love these. I actually just love Minor Figures, the oat milk brand. If you guys know, you know. Then, straight to lunch. I made this spinach gnocchi with mushrooms and the leftover Alfredo sauce. It looks a bit dodgy here, I'm not gonna lie, but it was actually really good. I think the Alfredo sauce just crusted up a bit, obviously because it's not made of cheese, as we know. Then for a snack, I had one of these coconut salted caramel pots and some pop chips, which are also really delicious, and I feel like because they're air fried, they just don't make me feel as greasy as normal crisps. Not that that's a bad thing, but sometimes I just don't want that feeling. Then at the end of a long week of online school, I ordered myself a vegan pizza from this place called Humble. Look how cute the boxes are. It was matching my jumper. They do all completely vegan pizzas, so I got this one with a tomato base and I added spinach and mushrooms on top to get in those micronutrients, because even though I was having pizza, do you know what? I genuinely like vegetables. I mean, I feel like people make a big deal about vegetables, but for me, they just genuinely bring me joy. So look how good this focaccia bread is as well. I popped it in the oven just because it was a bit lukewarm by the time it arrived to me. And then I just had the best time, as you can see, happy that it was the end of the week, TGIF time, eating this. And for dessert, I had these Booja salted caramel, chocolate, whatever, nut-based ice cream. It's delicious. To be honest, it really can't tell the difference between this and dairy ice cream. And as I ate that, I just chilled out on the sofa, watched this show. If you know what it is, comment below. And yeah, that was the end of my week of eating plant-based. I really enjoyed challenging myself to eat plant-based for a week, and I definitely recommend you guys try it for even if just for a day and not a week or a month. And yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!